give it like a minute, just like vamp for effect. Yeah, and then the orc walked into the bar and
and he asked who's on first.
Is Vic the little goblin you adopted?
BluePopStream.
Welcome to BluePop. I'm gonna get I know we just went live, but I'm gonna get myself a bottle of water real quick. Hi everyone, be right back.
Clear
Stay
pop
hydrated,
stream.
my friends.
If it was sparkling water, it'd be clear pop stream.
I'm just getting like regular ass water, bro.
I know. I'm not saying you're getting sparkling water. I'm just saying if one of us had it.
Oh,
I have a crippling addiction to sparkling water.
I tried it recently. Didn't like it. Weirdly.
Yo, here's the
But
thing.
maybe it's just a specific brand.
I think that might be it. My last job had like a free supply of sparkling water, and so I would drink it just because it's free. Like, damn it, I'm gonna get my money's worth. And I drank so much, I crave the crispiness.
Oh my god! It really do be like that. Like, I don't understand it. I don't like it.
Yeah. Now I can't drink regular water anymore. I'm like, what's happened to me?
The crispy water.
It's so spicy in the best way possible.
All right. Then. Welcome to BluePopStream and Scourge of the Dragon Sea, ladies and gentlemen. Who wants to tell us what happened last session?
I need my inspiration back, so I'll give a little synopsis. We did part 2 of our battle on their way into the Sun Temple with our new friend and rightly rejustified Ealnen. I became dangerously close to yanking the light seal, which probably would have resulted in some bad things happening, but we managed to triumph, conquer the darkness, partially literally, and keep come out alive with everything intact so far.
Pretty sure Barry did most of the conquering.
I said we.
Very we.
Hello, Kiyoshi. Thanks for tuning in.
Just got to refer to the party as Barry and friends for the rest of the campaign.
We might as well at this point. And on that note, we've leveled up. Just that Kiyoshi's like, it's almost 20 after, late streamer. It's because we were busy leveling up our characters.
It doesn't sound like it takes a long time, but it does, I promise you.
Especially when introducing new supplements that people don't know offhand.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I've taken some Battlemaster shit, so I will be able to more effectively aid my allies in whooping ass.
Yeah. Now then. That was honestly a pretty good summary of last session. Notably missing, there were explosives that went off.
Yeah, I sub-zeroed a guy, that exploded.
The dragon didn't care about fire damage because it's a dragon.
Yoshi says when Dareth is controlling something, I'm sure it'll take forever. That feels like something I have not nearly enough context for.
Anyway. Also, 5th edition combat can just be slow at times.
Yeah.
Problem with the system. Moving on.
Speaking of combat, welcome to our GM, freshly battle damaged.
Right here. It took a 2x4 to the face, essentially. You should see the other guy, though. Stiff as a board.
I was about to say
the other guy.
I literally just got hit by like a wooden truss made out of 2x4s at work. Like I wasn't in a fight. I wasn't like clubbed with a piece of wood. I swear. But anyway.
Your coworkers don't like you much, do they?
Yoshi says they told you to stop making out with wood.
Or eating wood. Yeah. I did make the HR guy laugh as he was like making sure I was, alive after it happened, because I made that joke and he's like, okay, if you're laughing about it, you're not taking this too seriously, so we're all good. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Anyway.
We're gonna dismiss your claim.
No, he was like, no, we need to do this. Like, if you're going to the hospital, we're doing the WSIB stuff. It was the whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyway. Tangent aside, yes, I have a battle wound, but we're moving on. Yeah, go ahead and take your inspiration back.
Nice.
Can anyone tell me the name of the prince, though?
I believe I said it, but I'll leave it to someone else to remember it.
Isn't that Ealnen?
Ealnen.
There you go, Ealnen. Does anyone remember his full name and title?
Nope.
I believe
Prince
it
Ealnen.
was
Ealnen Alvaron.
Prince Ealnen Alvaronis III, something to that effect.
Ealnen Alvaron.
Alvaron. I was
Sort
close.
of his name, blah blah blah. Yeah.
I knew it was the third.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
I remember things sometimes.
I know Simon made a wisdom saving throw at the end of the or during the short rest and succeeded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everyone has taken a short rest. We've done hit dice, etc., as people wanted to. Everyone is now 8th level.
And I'm still only 10 hit points behind Barry. What the fuck is this?
As you sort of, what's the plan from here?
I mean, clearly this light seal is important, but aside from doing what I was asked for, I'm not really sure what we're supposed to do aside from keep it safe. So I suppose I just want to like study this thing and see if I can figure out if there's something else I'm supposed to do with it. Or we're supposed to do with it.
Let me do a quick review of what checks were made. This is a wisdom saving throw. And actually that's the last thing we really did. Then a whole bunch of healing went out. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So, if people want to examine the flower, that can happen.
What do we need to roll for that?
What type of, so if you're looking at this flower, what expertise are you trying to draw on?
I suppose I'm trying to understand what my patron wants. So, since it's sort of like a magical connection, I'm guessing Arcana?
Ooh, yes, roll Arcana.
Could I cook it?
Give me an intelligence check with proficiency because you are a cook.
Will it blend?
I'm just trying to figure out what's so great about this damn thing. Why does everyone care about this?
I'm pretty sure there was mention of holding back the darkness or the shadow or something to that effect.
So, Simon, with your sort of arcane knowledge and experience, whatever that might be, you see you've obviously been around soil and growing things in your village, right? Back when you grew up?
Yeah.
While this room is very, very bright, partially owing to the glass, is the storm still going? I need to ask this. Tempest Cleric Druid, are we still controlling a storm in this room?
I mean, I imagine once the lightning bolt connected and Barry eviscerated the lizard, I would no longer need to concentrate on that.
Out comes the sun and chase the clouds away.
Yeah, okay, so there's no more thunder. That's relevant for my description here.
Understandable. Yeah. Continue.
Only 80 feet above you is a glass domed ceiling that is sort of funneling sunlight down into this room. And while this room is very, very bright, the soil, especially around the base of this flower, seems unusually dark. And the root system seems to be pulsing within that darkness, almost like protectively, or as if it's forming some kind of barrier.
Yeah, so that tells me that there's some sort of darkness under this. This light seal flower, fueled by the sunlight, is holding it down. So if we were to remove the flower, it would get out, and that would probably be bad.
Does anyone else want to examine? You, Barry. It doesn't immediately jump out as poisonous or toxic in any way. But you're not sure. This does look like a flower, not really like an herb that you might use in cooking. But that doesn't mean that it's inedible.
Well, I mean, we have that in our back pocket. For sure.
Worst case scenario, we can eat it.
Can I take a look from a religion point of view? Since it's important to other individuals of, religious descent, I figure.
Religion.
I'm very religious.
Roll religion for me, please.
With disadvantage.
Disadvantage for mispronouncing it.
Roll religious experience is specifically with water. But I'll allow it. Carry on.
I am Potato Girl in the chat. You might die, but you can eat it if you decide to die.
Valid.
I mean, like, you're pretty sure it's not poisonous. Okay. So with the 20 religion, this flower seems to be, and also like looking at some of these symbols around the temple, notably this sort of like mosaic in the tile floor outside this room. It looks to be almost like a joint effort between nature divinities and light divinities, and like the sun gods, so to speak. It seems to be very, that's really all I got. Like, it can't really expand on it more than that.
So different deities are collabing in order to protect this.
Yes.
That's significant, though. We're talking like the big daddies of both people that follow imaginary people and nature. Like, that's all the daddy complexes came together to make this one flower. That's huge.
Damn. The daddy collab.
So
the daddy collab.
So if this place is so important, I think the next question is, shouldn't people be here defending this? I didn't think we saw anyone else aside from the invaders.
You did actually pass a couple corpses on the way in.
Gotcha.
Are they buff?
When I say corpses, they're not humanoid corpses. You see the corpses of a bull with wings, a lion with wings, and what looks to be a large winged snake.
So, creatures of nature.
Touched by divinity? Question mark?
With wings, I should hope so.
Now, when I say a large winged snake, I mean like...
Danger noodle size?
Maybe not quite that long, but pretty long.
It's been a while since I made an FF14 reference on stream.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you feeling okay? Let me actually look up this things.
So not quite danger noodle, but long is still a uncomfortably long snake.
Maybe not a danger noodle, but at least a caution noodle.
Okay.
Caution noodle.
This doesn't say anything about its length. Cool.
But they're dead, right?
Yeah.
So perhaps we should look into a way of contacting these deities so that defenses can be reestablished.
Sure, you could attempt that.
I mean, would you let me finesse and say maybe if I did a funeral rite for some of these animals, we might be able to holler at whoever their daddies are? Or
Right.
Invite their gods to the funerals of their dead follower guardians.
Hey, otherwise we leave them on the cold ass floor. So I mean, they have options.
Give me another religion check.
Damn.
Literally anyone.
Let's see it.
Okay.
It's a 15.
Oh, bronze medal.
That's a bronze medal?
By Brennan Lee Mulligan standards.
Okay.
We're not we didn't fail, but we're also not high passing.
Yeah.
Let me just check creature. Yeah, okay, so
My parents are still disappointed.
why you don't get gold?
Yo!
I'm on the podium! Is that not good enough?
Okay.
Anyway. Anyway, so you would recognize that these things are celestials in origin.
Why is Mary upside down? Is that just on my end?
She did that to herself.
It was an accident. I was hoping no one would notice.
Oh, I saw it. I mentioned it earlier, and no one noticed that I mentioned it. I assume she's just trying to come at. She's just trying to come at the problem from a different perspective. It's like,
I don't know what I pressed.
This is gonna be another reference no one will get, but it's Bridge from Power Rangers SPD. Every time he has to process a problem, he stands on his hands. He stands upside down and lets the blood flow to his brain, and that somehow gives him the intelligence to solve the problem.
Sure, buddy. So, these are celestial creatures. And if they are, for both celestials and fiends, if they die not in their home plane, their spirit returns to their home plane naturally. So the followers of these gods are just like gone home for vacation or something.
Okay, so they basically left their bodies and went back to their home plane.
However, this doesn't mean that some sort of right to honor their fight or whatever would not be effective in some way at potentially contacting deities.
Damn it. All right, yeah, I can do that. I was sort of hoping, I was like, oh, sweet, free game. But yeah, no, I like your idea better.
How now, sacred cow?
I mean...
I'm just saying, I'm sure Barry could whip up something wild with some deified cow. I think that would be...
This steak tastes like it had wings!
I mean, there's choices available in all regards.
We'll just keep like a little bit of the flank steak and then just like bury the rest. Oh do you think they'll notice?
Oh my god.
I know my character hasn't been the most religious, but I don't think even Isvik would be fine with eating a holy cow.
God, I sure hope they don't need to come back to the same bodies.
Holy cow.
I think we found the episode name.
I mean, if you do end up deciding to cook it, the episode name is Eating the Holy Cow. But, oh my god.
Time to have a church barbecue.
Okay. Anyway, chugging right along here. Yeah, you think that you would probably be able to do some kind of rite or ritual in honor of these things to potentially contact their deity.
Awesome. I don't have that prepared because I don't know who does, but in a day, I'll be able to come back and do that.
That would be the ceremony spell, correct?
Correct.
Is it a ritual?
Feels like if any spell would be a ritual, it would be that.
It would be ceremony. It is, yes.
Clerics are ritual casters.
Very well. Let's. I have to prepare it like technically to do the canonically, but let me.
When have I ever let the rulebook actually hold me back?
I understand.
Yeah, I've kind of been
breaking
rules this entire time. I mean.
Anyway, do you have 25 gold?
Please
you know what? That's a good ass question. I haven't been paid since I came to this party. I might be broke.
I'm pretty sure I gave you your share.
I haven't. I have 15 gold to my name, which I got in the 4th session and never got paid again.
I'm gonna walk over to Dama and hand him 100 gold.
Gee, thanks. 25 of that goes to Sarah.
You know what? Have 2 platinum.
You ain't gonna do all that, all right?
Have 2 platinum. You've contributed plenty by now.
All right, I will take it. I will pocket that for later. I'll say a quick blessing to Tharssa, and then we will get on with this funeral.
We're gonna pay for the higher tier religious ceremony.
I feel like such a horrible cleric, being like, you're not gonna grease the wheels of the spiritual.
100 gold is more than most people see in their lives here.
I love you so.
Higher tier of Patreon equals higher tier of heaven.
Like, I could give them a funeral, or for funeral premium, we could get them set up in caskets and everything.
They get to bathe in the holy jacuzzi.
Oh god. Oh boy.
All right, so now that I have all this money, I have to lather them down in eucalyptus oils and probably light some candles, and then I guess we'll get this funeral going.
All right.
We have to be near water, though, because, Tharssa, is there water in the area?
Is there water in the area? You remember seeing a river nearby to the town. So you think that's probably not terribly far now as well.
Okay, then that is my intention. Plans being, obviously, I should probably dedicate these celestial, possibly even divine animals to their respective deities, but I'll need to do it with Tharsa's blessing, so I'll need to be near a body of water, and he'll do.
Actually, I just realized something, guys.
What's up?
There's one guy still alive at the back of the room.
Oh no, we said he ran off.
I was about to say, I'm not doing his ceremony. It's like, yo, Jimbo, I didn't get paid enough for all that.
Nice.
But
Kiyoshi's like, welcome to our holy jacuzzi. Don't ask what's in it.
Probably holy cow's blood. Anyway, moving right along.
Completely filled with holy water.
Okay, so you need a source of running water for a Thassan funeral. What else does a Thassan funeral look like?
Honestly, if I'm allowed to plagiarize blatantly, I would say it would be a lot like the sending from Final Fantasy X. You put them all in the water, you send them off, and then I get I twerk gently into the water.
Damn it!
And and the gyrations of my hips that simply do not tell lies will conjure energies from the divine down to our mortal coil to pass through these bodies just like the moving currents and bring them gently into Tharsa's loving embrace.
Your ass just makes the water ripple.
I think I'm gonna steal my 75 gold back now.
You paid for this service.
Unsubscribe, please.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
We can flavor change the twerking, but I thought you would be a fan. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. We'll save that for later.
I was about to be all, oh, that's really beautiful. I love this ending.
Ruined.
You said it, not me.
Okay, so yeah, that all works. Wait, give me a quick religion check, Adama. For the third relig ion.
I was about to say, rolling a 1 on my HP and then doing well in 3 religions is kind of absurd. We'll
Almost as if it was holy will.
Well, there it is.
Can one of us give him help action or something?
Does anyone else have proficiency in religion?
No.
But Kai is pretty handy around, nature? Proper situations. They might be able to help me out, get the bodies. Nature, because they're all animals.
Sure.
I do have a nature proficiency.
Kai.
I do not have a religion proficiency.
Kai, do you want to help with this?
I am more than willing to help with this.
Okay, roll it again.
A little better.
Okay.
A little bit.
Sure. So, a couple things. One, Edema, as you sort of watch these bodies drift along the river's current, you see beneath the waves what looks to be a pair of eyes looking up at you.
Do I recognize these eyes?
They seem familiar, but you can't place it. As if you have seen them before, but you don't remember where.
Oh, geez, that could be any tavern.
And you don't think you have seen them, certainly recently, but probably not even since coming to this region.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Another thing that everyone sees, as you complete the ritual and the celestial corpses drift down the river, it almost for a second looks as if the bodies drift into the sky rather than, like, as they get closer to, like, the edge of your vision. It seems as if, to put it almost poetically, the boats carry on over the horizon, the bodies ascend almost. And then you hear a voice behind all of you saying, "You have honored my servants after protecting their charge. Who are you, travelers?" And Simon, if you could put that image up on screen, that is who you are looking at.
Okay.
I will send it in the Discord chat as well. That guy.
Oh my god.
That guy.
He probably stands about 10 feet tall, his eyes glowing with an unearthly light.
Oh, shit. Oh, that wasn't me saying anything. I was expecting a David to go do something real dumb here.
He is pretty swole, but, like...
I'll talk shit to other priests all day. You don't talk shit to gods. That's just not...
Simply isn't done.
It really isn't. Like,
when the thing that can really smite is right in front of you, you don't.
Yeah, literally, you're looking at a power socket of smite, and you're like, yeah, I can fuck with that. No. So, Dema is going to, in the most respectful way possible, slightly flex his Tharssa symbol and be like, I am simply a priest of Tharssa, casting on these souls to the places they should go. But the real merits of protecting their charge would go to my companions here, and he will gesture to the rest of the party.
I see. Or should I say, I have seen.
We're nothing super special, just a band of adventurers on various quests that have led us here. Unfortunately, I am in some manner of pact with a being from the Shadowfell that demanded we come here and take the light seal. Not something I've been personally willing to do, but as you can see, we did our best to defend it. And even with my rudimentary understanding of the arcane, I can see that this flower here in this temple is holding back some sort of great darkness. So it fell within our interests to do what we could to protect it.
Yes, and I'm sorry that I could not be there to assist you directly. My duties take me elsewhere at times. What is that orb you have there, child?
I take out the orb that I've been carrying for quite a while. This was something that we found on one of our many travels. I can tell that it's attempting to have some sort of effect on me, but I've been able to mostly resist it so far. But it has some spells in it that have been helpful every now and then.
Yes. You see he like leans in very close to it, but doesn't touch it. I have seen this before, but its essence is corrupted, it seems.
Sorry, who are you?
Oh, my apologies. Centuries of isolation seem to have robbed me of my manners. My name is Kirkama. You may know of me as the Sunspear if you've heard, if you are local to these parts. I am a servant of the gods of light, set to protect this and other temples like it.
Simon just like bows a little bit and nods, not fully sure how to interact with gods.
You say you have a pact?
Yes. My village was attacked some time ago, and I was left dying on a beach, and I was contacted by Aldrim of Trest, a being from the Shadowfell who helped me survive and spared my life and granted me some abilities in exchange for doing his bidding. We've mostly gone along with what he said because the person he wished dead lined up with my own personal goals, to make a long story short. But his latest in a series of demands was to take this light seal, which obviously we're not fully on the same page about.
I see. Well, I know this name that you have said, but I know not why he would have such an interest in this seal.
I wasn't given a lot of detail. I was just sort of quickly handed a contract to sign, and I was not in much of a condition or place to refuse, what with my soul on the balance.
Yes. Mortals often bargain with those, do they not?
The first one wasn't willingly. It was more of a, hey, I see you're dying there. Here's an alternative. So I guess you could say it was under duress.
Wait, that's illegal.
I see, and I'm sorry you find yourself in such a situation. What is it? Is there something more I can help you with as repayment for your services to this temple?
I think the main reason we wanted to contact you was just to make sure that the defenses here at this temple were reestablished so that no one could make another attempt on taking the light seal.
I should also mention one of the people who was attacking here got away, so we have no idea if they're just going to come back with more or not.
I will see to it that the guardians are returned. I will also have it known that the 6 of you are treated as heroes should ever you need to return or require anything of us in future.
Very appreciated.
Now, this business with your patron. Should you require assistance in future, he reaches out to you, and as he does so, a whistle with a feather that from purest white to golden at the tips attached to it, and hands it to you. Blow this, and one of my servants will come to your aid.
That will be very helpful. Thank you very much.
Of course. And he smiled. What you can tell is supposed to be a smile that like puts you at ease or is like, of course I'm glad to help. But coming from a being of obvious divinity, it's a little bit unsettling.
Okay. Would this work only on the mortal realm, or if we happen to be in the Shadowfell, would this work as well?
It should work wherever you are.
All right, awesome.
It will call a coatl. If there is anything else I could assist you with, now would be the time.
I look over at everyone else. If there's anything anyone else needs to ask, maybe Ealnen. I don't know what he's feeling now that we've helped the temple.
He seems to be watching you and watching what thinking about what his next steps are himself. He doesn't give you like a direct. He doesn't seem to have anything to ask this being, and he's almost looks to be trying to avoid eye contact.
I look over at Adema. You're the one who contacted them. If there's anything else you can think of.
Communications between deities can be sketchy, but should you ever find yourself abreast of Tharssa, put in a good word.
I will do so, Adema.
Could you tell my god I love them?
Like if you ever like run into them at the water cooler or something. Hey.
Like I'm sure that happens to you guys all the time. Not trying to presume or anything, but she is a fan of water, so I figured.
Tharssa is frequently known to be at the water cooler.
Yes. All right. Well, I assume that to be all then. And I wish you well, mortals. And in a flash of light, he disappears.
Simon just looks up, just like fully taking in the experience of meeting a proper divinity as opposed to an arcane, otherworldly entity. Very different experiences.
Hmm.
I guess we just explored.
All right. What are the next steps, gang?
I suppose we want to talk to Ealnen and see how he feels about coming back to Alvaronis.
Hmm.
Or at the very least, coming back to help us deal with the Pirate Kings.
That too.
We could probably do that over a campfire or something. That talk. It's been a bit since we've had a proper rest.
I'm good
All
for
right,
a campfire.
it's probably getting later in the day now as well.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to camp here or go back to town.
You are also not far from Ealnen's homestead as well.
Well, I didn't want to be rude and assume.
He says, we could talk back at the farm if you wish.
If you would have us.
Very well.
All right.
And he extends his wings and flies not nearly as fast as he was before, and sort of like leads you back in that direction. Okay.
And,
when you
we'll
arrive at the homestead, or where you would turn off the road to head towards the homestead, you turn off the road, head up to the homestead, and arrive without issue. You have your cart, you have Isaac, you have the displacer kitten. All of that is fully intact. You arrive back at the homestead without incident. He offers for you to unhook your horse or your horses and see them fed from the fodder in the barn. You see that there is one stall in the barn as well as some pasturage there, what would be for a horse, but there is no other horse here right now. And then he says, please join me in the house when you have done what you need here, and we will talk there.
Simon, make sure he dusts himself off and make sure there's nothing from the outside being tracked in as he enters his house. Sits down.
I'm gonna settle into the rather annoying process of removing my leather armor at the moment.
There's no water nearby, is there?
Why?
Maybe he has a sink.
There is a well nearby, actually.
All right.
Somewhere you can draw water.
Good. I'm gonna drink some of that. I suppose I'm gonna take this chainmail off because there's a lot going on, and probably wash off blood. I think that's appropriate at this point.
Yeah.
What time of day is it? Sorry.
It's getting into the evening now.
Okay, I'm gonna muck around in his kitchen and see what he has.
Sure. You
without permission.
You just like walk in and take command. You give me an investigation check.
Okay.
With proficiency because you cook all that.
Oh fuck.
Do you have inspiration if you want to use it?
Nope. I do have a level of exhaustion though, which makes sense. So that should have been technically, I think, it's checks, right? With one level of exhaustion. It should have been a disadvantage.
Yeah, disadvantage.
Well,
but like that's actually true. Okay, so it's a 7.
Yeah. I fall asleep.
You, as you like take a look around the kitchen, you see that like things are organized the way someone who is familiar with cooking might organize things, but it's still like foreign to the way you would organize things.
Sure.
Ealnen does not strike you as a cook himself. But there's a modest store of like some spices and things like that.
So are you trying to like insinuate that someone else was here with him who did more cooking?
That would be an inference you would make.
Ah.
I saw that face.
I can't. The DM in me doesn't want to say yes or no to that statement because the unsureness is kind of what I'm going for. In that, like, you rolled a 7.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you a hard yes or no on that.
That should have been enough time for me to get that leather armor off. It doesn't take long for that, so I'll come in and help Barry with any cooking if she decides to try some.
Sure.
So that would cancel your disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do some cooking.
Well, I mean, it still would have been the first roll was just a straight 7.
Well, that wasn't cooking. I can't help with that. I don't.
Yeah,
have
that was looking around, sort of like
okay,
familiarizing yourself with the kitchen.
I mean, I'll probably just like something simple. I don't know if he has I don't know if they have rice here. Some like rice and some greens.
You find a bag, a bag of rice,
Uncle Bird,
and some like a couple like herb plants. So you have like fresh, I don't know, mint, I guess, and that sort of thing.
Minty rice. That sounds so great.
Look, man, look.
I was thinking more like like I don't know, spinach.
Okay, yeah, you find like there's a small garden outside that you saw on the way in as well. It's actually like he was splitting wood, but like he seemed obviously been just like sort of like maintaining that sort of thing when you guys first arrived, like several sessions ago. And he doesn't seem to pay you any mind as you do this. He seems to be a little bit distracted himself.
Fair.
Well, since they're focused on the kitchen, I think I would be sitting in the same room as Ealnen, just trying to get a read on him.
It's one room.
Okay.
It's not a particularly large house. It's like think.
It's a cabin in the woods.
Yeah, it's a cabin more or less.
Okay, so then would I have seen on his face that he's deep in thought or in whatever state he's in?
He's not a man of particular what's the word I want to use here? He kind of wears his heart on his sleeve here.
So no insight roll needed?
No. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, if you just think, what's your passive insight? Actually, let's go with that.
11.
Yeah, he's distracted enough that like it's writ plain across his face. Like distracted, like uneasy with whatever. He seems to be really grappling with whatever issue he's handling.
I think Simon's gonna try and at the same time pry a little bit, but also try and lighten the mood and just be like, so how did it feel to fight as a paladin again?
What? It's been a long time since I felt Paylor's light guiding me, but it was correct to do what we did.
Very much so. How are you feeling?
Good, now that, well, that woman will no longer plague this town. Perhaps whoever the Hitairois send next will treat the people better than she did.
Mm-hmm. We can only hope.
I suppose you'll be wanting me to go with you when you decide to leave, yes?
Not to be too upfront about it, but that is one of the reasons we're here.
He nods, kind of slowly. I don't know what sort of life will be waiting for me when we arrive, but there are people who I wish to see before leaving. Maybe a few days before they return.
Well, I think how much time we have is sort of a group chat to have, but I'm sure we can work something out. And as for what kind of life is awaiting you when we get there, if it helps, we can put in a good word that you've been fighting the good fight.
He kind of smiles a little bit and says, I appreciate that, but things with my brother were not left particularly amicable. But we must always face our mistakes. We cannot hide from them any longer.
I agree. I can't speak too much about your relationship with your brother, but we'll support you however we can.
I appreciate that. I have only met you and your companions today. But you have already proven yourself staunch allies. Thank you.
Thank you.
He kind of like sniffs there and says, I did not start any sort of cooking. Dude. And he looks around and like sees you working away. Barry says, thank you. I believe you'll find some venison hanging from a tree behind the barn to keep it away from the bears, you understand. If you wish to add something with a little more substance to what you're working on.
Yes, I'll go grab that. Is this your methodology for this kitchen? Because, like, I mean, I understand it, kind of, it's just, it's not how I would do things.
No, my wife usually cooks.
Oh.
Your wife?
Yes.
And where's she at?
She had business to attend to in Hoshikiri with our son.
Okay. Oh,
They
you
left,
have a...
They left a few
wow.
days ago.
We ran into those guys. That wasn't in character, by the way.
I figured it.
Well, I guess I'll go grab the meat then.
And he sort of looks to be like kind of puttering around the cabin, sort of haphazardly packing a bag, in the way that says like, I know I'm going somewhere. I don't know what I'll need, and I don't know what to expect, but I know I need to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, probably everyone has finished whatever sort of preparations they were doing as soon as they got here from the temple. What is Kai up to?
Kai is honestly just off in the corner on his own, just kind of muttering to himself, contemplating his new nature abilities and discussing with his deity what's going on.
All right. Nature doesn't respond in words But you do get, as you're doing this, you hear wind sort of like rustling through the trees, and you are sort of like swept around with a wind that blows out of the west around you and then continues eastward. And however you might interpret that.
For a second, I thought that was going to end with nature doesn't respond, and I was going to follow with nature left you on red.
I mean,
The winds have spoken to me. Time to head east.
Oh,
Why east?
just like that?
I mean,
That's what the winds tell me.
that's their actually
if
the way
we
back where we came from.
to this map.
I mean,
Yeah, that was our plan, I think.
Yeah.
what about if it's, what do they call it? Hobnob. The thing you're friends with that's also a pirate and needs help.
That's also east.
East.
Well, there we go. All right. Well, what are we waiting for?
Nature told us
believe-
something we already knew. That's okay.
I believe the word you're looking for is hobgoblin.
Oh,
The hobnoblin.
That was in
Hobgoblin.
character, but yeah.
Okay. Itchy, I'm about to add an item to your character sheet.
Cool.
Yeah. So that happens. You find the venison. What? It's like you were helping with the cooking, correct?
Yep.
And Dama, what are you up to?
I gotta holler at Tharssa with some real shit. Because how is it this random deity who's not even really a deity because he said he was a spirit is able to give Simon a fucking whistle like, hey, yo, I can come in whenever, and Tharssa don't even be answering my calls. What is up with that?
Here, have a free summon spell.
Yo, for real, like, what's up? I'm like, yo, you're the goddess to change. We're trying to change the fact he's enslaved to this random asshole. Where are you? Where were you at?
So are you trying?
That's not fair.
Are you trying to commune with your deity?
God.
I would like to, yes.
Okay. So, notably, commune is a spell on the cleric spell list.
Ah, shit.
Don't
Let me
think
get
you're a high enough level for it, but I want this to happen. So, commune. Let's see this. It's a 5th level spell.
Ah, yeah, just out of reach.
So what would you like to do in lieu of that spell to sort of reach out to her?
In the nature of all priests before me, I can only assume Tharssa birthed me in this sea, so I need to be at the sea for this to work out. If we're going to be doing this without spells, I need to get to some salt water.
Okay.
So I'm willing to postpone this until that's possible.
Sure. Real quick question. You have the spell Create or Destroy Water. Because you are a cleric of a goddess of the sea, like a sea deity, you can make that water seawater if you wish.
Are you sure you want to admit that to canon?
Yes.
Because I'll run with it. Okay, all right.
All right. Sounds good.
Understandable.
Okay. Let's see what happens.
So with that being said,
See what happens.
so how much is it? I can create up to 10 gallons. Okay, so I need to find. Yeah, that's a lot of water. Presumably, I need to get somewhere it's not going to immediately soak into the soil. So I'm assuming he's got the well thing going on. We'll just go over there. We'll dump it in his well. We'll get it out later. I can go destroy it and destroy. It's both sides. He's not drinking right now. It'll be fine.
No big deal. He's gonna dump 10 gallons of seawater in his drinking well. No big deal.
I'm assuming
It's
I've done
in
this
the
before.
service of God.
Look, he got to talk to his, and he didn't even talk to it because he was too scared. I'm trying to holler at mine. All right, this is real. You should understand as a paladin.
So notably, up to, does it have to be you summon 10 gallons of water?
Just boom.
I know, but it was so much funnier if I ruined his drinking water.
Oh god!
So admittedly,
in the name of
if we
Tharssa.
can retcon a bit, right? We can say that the seashell that acts as my aspect of Tharssa, that small piece, has like a retainer for water, in the same way that sailors will hold grains of sand from their home plane. Like I'll bring some seawater from, I forget the actual name of the place I'm from. It's not the Dragon Sea, Siren Sea, I believe. And
Theros?
was it the oh shit, it has to be Tharssa, yeah.
You're a cleric of Tharssa!
Don't even remember. We'll bring that along, right? So we don't have to create or destroy anything. But with that being
I was
said,
thinking, like, get a bucket?
You know, the bucket that
kinda
he
seems
gets
demeaning,
water
don't it?
from the well with.
I want to holler at my deity, so I'm gonna get a bucket of water, like the same thing you wash your car with. Like,
It's a really
dog,
nice bucket.
Is it a porcelain? But I mean, yeah, okay, that's fair.
Polish it real nice.
Either way, right? I need to get
Okay.
some seclusion. I need to get some dispersion from the rest of the party because I don't want to hear the fact that I'm not exactly displeased. But you know, I've got some concerns, some questions that I would like answered. In that sense, in traditional fashion, I would have to float this medallion in water so we can go back to the bucket. We'll take the bucket, we'll float the medallion within it, right?
Sure.
And then I will call upon Tharssa and we're 100% bullshitting here, so bear with me. Tharssa and your beloved name, the all-bringer of change, the seer of souls and where they might go. Please just bless me with the foresight to know your design, your divine intention, where some other lesser god can provide assistance to those who don't even believe in them. To provide a whistle, some tangible effect of their power here in this plane. God, Tharssa, please, I wish to see your will be done, to see your change in this universe. But I find myself wanting, how is it that these other gods can step upon your domain and incite their will? Just show me a sign. Please.
I love that it's a cleric saying this of all things.
Dear God, what the fuck?
So you are having quite the crisis of faith right now. Like, quite literally a crisis of faith.
She don't answer my calls. She don't pay no child support. Like, I don't understand.
Child support!
Okay, Kai is going to cast Shape Water.
I just wanna know how he got
into
away
the
with it.
holy symbol of Tharssa.
Tharssa? I asked bootleg Tharssa.
Oh my god.
It's
So-
me, Tharssa.
So,
I am trying so hard not to laugh.
you have this bucket of water in front of you, yeah?
Yeah.
You get the sense that reality almost stops around you. And this bucket in front of you with the water in it seems to expand until it's more of like a wash basin size. Think what Davy Jones is standing in that one scene in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yep.
No shit.
This is relevant. And coming up from within this basin of seawater, you see that face again. It comes up out of the water. Itchy, go ahead and show that image for me that I just sent you, which I'm going to put here. This is totally not my art. I am not trying to steal credit for art that is not mine. I promise everyone.
That's not Tharssa at all.
Holy shit.
No!
Oh, I thought it was.
Hello?
Yeah, I was kind of hoping.
So, that individual comes bursting out of the water in front of you and stands staring you in the face. You now recognize this face. This is your brother.
Oh.
Which one? Okay, so I had a brother and a sister. So is everything else on brand as far as lore goes?
Yes.
Can I assume? Okay, all right.
Yes. Now this brother was with you on the boat you went down in.
Valid.
So he also went down with that ship.
Yeah, so this ain't good.
You see that he has the sort of like blue of his eyes there looks like the depths of the sea. And he stares you and you are looking into the fathomless depths. He stares into your face and says, "You challenge the lady. You're a long way from home, brother."
And that is what she'd have me do. I challenge nothing. I simply wish to know what it is I'm doing. I gave away my life for this, and I don't know what it means anymore.
Is that the message I should take to her?
Tharssa is the goddess.
And you will hear back from her.
Tharssa is the goddess of change, is she not? Why are these other gods encroaching on her domain? How has she nothing to say for this?
I say again, you are a long way from home. And she's here, but there are others in these waters. Others who call this water home.
Then what would she have me do? In this place far from my home, I admit I know. But how? What must I do for her blessing?
You wish for her blessing?
I wish to be whole again, brother.
He looks down at the long, jagged knife in his hand. Her blessing will come to you. And he thrusts it through your abdomen.
Didn't eat one of those anyway.
Oh. Oh no.
You feel... Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Well, if you insist. Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. Coming to you live from Constitution Saving Throws, it's your boy, Adema.
Oh.
And it's an 8.
Okay. You take... you take 15 points of piercing damage.
Just the piercing.
And
not that I'm asking for more, I'm just saying that, like, I imagine there will be some supernatural bullshit involved.
you take 15 points of piercing damage.
I heard the instant regret in that voice of his.
It sounded like you said, "I bet."
Harder, daddy.
Harder brother, apparently.
And you feel you feel a momentary, almost like a much greater presence is crushing down on yours. And you take an additional 12 psychic damage. Give me a wisdom saving throw this time.
I was about to say, imagine dying because you asked the question.
Well, Tharssa is the god of change. You have been changed from not stabbed to stabbed.
You said wisdom?
Yes.
Change you from living to dead. 18.
That's
okay.
better.
You feel the wound in your chest. He pulls the blade back out, and you feel the serrated edge of that knife on the pull out. You take 1 point of slashing damage, and we'll go with the D10. Not slash R10, slash our D10. Thank you. And 3 points of salt water in the wound damage, whatever damage type you want that to be. As he pulls this blade from your chest.
Interesting pull-out game.
Stinging
Hey,
wound.
you.
Did you subtract 10 and then 3? Oh, you set your HP to 3.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
You were at 19
That
and then
should
you
be
took
a 15.
1 and
I fucked.
yeah, you're at 15. Dude, I do that all the time with enemies, don't worry. You... Okay. You hear him say, now, has Adema dropped to his knees at this point, do you think?
I mean, that was more than half his health in one. Yeah.
Okay, so you still conscious,
He's
but you're-
probably writhing.
Falling on your knees is part of any religious experience.
Your brother is like holding you up by the shoulder, and he leans down and says in your ear, "You have her blessing. Spread her name. You have already begun." And then you feel yourself, like, you almost briefly fall unconscious, and you wake up with your head in the bucket of salt water. There is no longer a wound in your abdomen. You did take all of that damage. And you see a bracer on your left forearm that is studded with coral and pearls.
This goddess is way more brutal than I thought they would be. All right.
Admittedly, I'm riffing.
That's valid. I was like, holy
I thought it was
I'm
awesome.
hardcore riffing.
Pretty awesome.
Perfectly valid. This is very metal.
Yeah. And I will have to write up this item, but I've had ideas for it for a little bit.
You live your best life. I enjoyed the flavor.
You see, like, in the largest pearl is etched the bident symbol of Tharssa as well. You quite plainly have a symbol of Tharssa on your forearm now.
Did you mean to give that whistle to Adema?
I was about to ask. Did you give me that item? Because I don't think I see it.
Oh, that's awkward. Do I have it? That means this whole conversation was never happened.
I did. What?
Oh, wait,
guys,
actually, no. I see the whistle here in my
Take it all
bag.
back.
Never mind.
Take it all back. Thassa's good. Thassa's great.
Okay. Simon has it now. I'll just delete it from a day one. My bad. Live entertainment, ladies and gentlemen.
There it is.
Leave that one in just for posterity. Okay.
I have several instances of me opening my character sheet looking for it.
Yup. I believe it. So, yeah. he has your brother is no longer in front of you. The bucket is a bucket again, and time seems to have resumed. Anyone who was paying attention to Adema saw him rant at a bucket of salt water, and then he was face down in a bucket of salt water.
I mean, as much as I want to have paid attention to it, didn't he explicitly say he wanted to be separated from us?
Yes,
He was like
did.
outside. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I don't fault anyone for attempting this, but I did try to walk away, so I wasn't immediately a madman.
I wanted to say earlier, but focus was shifting. Simon, pretty much at this point, is just like completely unpacked and is stretched out on whatever couch or equivalent he has in this place, in this cabin.
You have some time to relax for once.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Ithric was helping cook. Kai is off doing druid stuff. Barry's cooking. Cool.
Just about the only person who would have a chance to see you would be Kai.
Yeah. who was busy reading the winds.
Yep.
Okay.
Smoking some
Notably,
druid
Kai,
grass.
you see several. Yeah. You see several like small birds that now, because you're level 8 druid, you can turn into if you want.
Fun.
And I'm going to. Because I want to fly.
Oh, great. You're all going to be able to fly by the end of this, aren't you?
Just have a whole sword in the
Well.
stone moment where you explore nature as the animals.
Guy is turning into the giant eagle, and off he goes.
Okay. So, do you go anywhere? Like, are you doing that right now? You go giant eagle?
Do you tell us you're
Okay.
going, or do you just go?
I just go.
Oh, okay.
Where are you going?
I'm just going up above where we are, kind of circling around, going for a nice tour.
No, you're just taking it for a test drive.
Yeah, riding the heat waves,
Cool. Cool.
little
Wow.
updrafts, fun stuff.
How's it feel to not have that giant shell on your back?
Yeah, no idea.
Give me a perception check real quick. And I believe that still uses your stats because it's a mental stat thing.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. You could say he's eagle-eyed.
Yes, it does still use his mental stats.
Yeah.
Never mind. That's good enough.
Yeah. So as you are soaring on the wings of an eagle, you look down at the world around you. You kind of like circle pretty high before you really get any inkling that maybe you should go back down soon. You see a few ships up and down this waterway here. You see travel up and down the roads. To the north, you see, you actually see a few dragons flying between the mountains. And to the south, you see an enormous tree towering over a forest down this way.
Okay.
And that is what you see on your tour through the air over Dagborn. All right. You would probably soon hear Barry or Ithvuk or someone calling people to dinner soon. Barry,
Yes.
could I get... No, you have the help action on this as well. A tool use check with your cook's utensils. We're going to say that this is con-based because eating things and health. And you do have advantage and proficiency and all of that fun stuff because you are helped, you're a good cook, etc.
So a con check.
With your proficiency bonus
with
added, yes.
proficiency. Okay. I guess it's just a straight roll because I am asleep.
No, you are EP.
Eepy. Oh Lord.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's a solid venison stew. no extra benefits from anything. But yeah, you eat well.
Oh, before we start eating, I look at Adema and I'm like, we've never asked you this. Are we supposed to say grace or something before we eat? Like, do we need to hold hands? Like, is that a thing that Tharssa needs us to do? Because, like, we can.
Brad.
He's a little bit soaked in salt water right now.
Yeah.
Did you jump in the well?
Yeah, you look a little like sopping wet.
You're looking a little rough there, buddy. I'm gonna tap this on his shoulder.
I think Tharssa is more concerned with the journey than the destination. You all do what you feel is right.
But would it make you feel better?
Going to ignore all further questions and silently nibble at his food.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Tharssa, I guess.
Good rice, good meat, good Tharssa. Let's eat.
Yep.
There we go.
Actually, pretty solid.
All right. All right. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Cool. Wow. Okay. The rest of the night passes. Yeah.
Isfik would have went straight to bed immediately after eating.
Okay. Ifva goes to bed after eating.
I think Simon would have volunteered to play some cards with whoever wants to hang out.
You guys get a night to actually relax. Ealnen breaks out a bottle of wine that he has had in his pack, or had in his pack, and has been sort of tucked away out of sight. And he offers it in thanks, as thanks to all of you for your help. In wanting to go to bed, Ithvik, Ealnen says, we only have the space here, but I'm sure you can find somewhere warm and comfortable out in the barn. That's what we've offered travelers in the past.
I'll figure something out.
Mm. And you would also know, travelers overland would often, pass out in the barn because at least it's out of the weather, and straw is a lot softer than the cold, hard ground.
Yeah.
If it's good enough for a horse.
Simon normally...
He's a sailor, he'd know.
I just want to say real quick, Simon would normally avoid alcohol, but out of respect for Ealnen, he will have one drink.
Ooh. There you go. Does anyone else have anything in particular they want to do before heading to bed as well? There's cards on the table, so to speak. And Ealnen seems to be in pretty good spirits, and relatively at ease chatting with you here.
Yeah, that's the other reason Simon would have wanted to play cards, just to get everyone a little more friendly with him.
I don't know. I feel like I need to cry tonight.
Come play cards, distract you from your troubles.
I'm very eepy, as it's been established, but I'll play a round or two.
Okay. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Ithvik, I just sent you a message on Discord if you want to check that real quick for me. Otherwise, you guys go to bed. You're in a nice, safe place. You don't there's no need to post watches unless you feel a particular need yourself to do so.
I think Simon's going to take full advantage of a very rare opportunity to not have to stay up and watch.
Okay. And if there is nothing else, you get a long rest.
Hooray.
Just waiting on.
If they would let me send it.
Okay. Discord is being a little slow for you. Or you can just respond, okay. Cool. Okay, so everyone goes to bed. Ithvik, you would wake up first because you went to bed first. What do you want to do?
First, I'm gonna find a demo.
He's probably somewhere in the barn as well, or just like found a piece of floor somewhere. You can probably find him without too much difficulty.
And attempt to swipe the bag of holding.
Okay. Adema, what is your passive perception -5 because you are unconscious? I can actually check that myself here.
Wow, he's really
Oh, I'm
role-playing.
muted. It's 13.
13. Okay.
I was about to say, wow, he's really role-playing.
Knocked out.
Ithvik, give me a sleight of hand check. With advantage. DC 13.
So you know how I'm a ranger and rogue, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I have 3 different kinds of expertise, and this one has not come up yet, but...
Okay.
Damn.
24.
Oh dear.
I was like, how low does he have to roll to fail this?
I would love to see it.
You grab the bag of holding.
It's a +9 modifier.
Yeah. You grab the bag of holding. What do you do next?
Slip out as quietly as possible and start making my way back towards the temple.
Give me a stealth check.
It's just like an Indiana Jones thing where you swap it with something.
Do you really think it's smart enough to do that?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Is there light around here?
Sorry?
Is there any lights on outside?
I mean, inside the fire would have like gotten low, but not be all the way out. Outside, not really. No, it's more for volume that I'm asking you to roll stealth.
Fair enough.
Also +9 to that. Okay. Okay.
Rogue does rogue things. Shocker.
Rogue is doing rogue things. He also messaged me this week that he might want to do this if other things went as they have done. Sure. You are making your way to the place?
Yep.
Back to the temple? Sure. Awesome. It takes you a little while. Maybe an hour to get back there on foot. You don't see any foot traffic on the road. If you follow the road, when you arrive outside the temple, you see that some of the stone that had been blown away in the explosion is already starting to like sort of return to place, and it's repairing itself. But there's still no door that you would have to knock on, anything like that. Inside, that's sort of like main entryway where most of the fight happened. The bodies have been cleared away. The large doors are closed now.
Well, the first thing is I'm going to see if there's anything in here, because those bodies being gone and the door being locked tells me something's not quite right here.
Give me a perception check. Looking around, you don't see anything, like nothing jumps out at you as particularly keeping watch or anything like that. You also, it bears repeating that Kirkama, the spirit that was here, He did say that he would make sure that his servants regarded the six of you as heroes and those who protected this place. There are the statues on either side of this entryway. You see topaz set into the eyes, but you don't see anything. It is brighter lit in here than it would be outside, but it is still like dim light.
Yeah, I don't expect to get that benefit in here. I was never expecting that.
It is dim light, so I'm using the mechanical phrase here. A creature without dark vision would have disadvantage on perception checks and have a hard time seeing particularly far.
Yeah, but I still wouldn't be invisible.
It's not darkness. You are correct. And then there's the large doors closed that lead into where the light seal is found.
Obviously, since not seeing anything and not the brightest in these situations, I'm going to try to check the door.
Sure. The door has not been locked.
Can I hear anything on the other side?
Give me a perception check.
I was gonna say, we told them to reestablish their defenses here.
You don't hear anything yet. Anything through the door.
I'm going to open them and walk in.
Okay. It is what I would call normal light in here. It is not particularly bright, and you see most of it is coming from this flower itself.
Anything else?
You don't see any movement. Nothing else catches your eye as different from when you left at the end of the combat earlier today.
I'm going to walk up and go to grab the flower.
As you do so, are you pulling it out of the ground or cutting it?
If Luke would probably just cut it.
Cut it? Okay. You cut the flower. The glow in the ground immediately fades away. You see this, the glow in the flower itself becomes far more faint, but it's still just very slightly glowing. What do you do now?
Stick it in the bag of holding and start making my way out.
Okay. As the flower goes in the bag of holding, the room goes the same sort of light level as the entryway. And as you head out of the temple, you hear a very cultured voice behind you. You hear a faint hum of maybe some sort of magic. And you hear this voice say, "Well, this is unexpected. Not who I was expecting to help me." As you turn around, what is your armor class?
Give me 1 second here. See, I'm not a level 2 warlock, and this is one of my favorite benefits, so I have an AC of 16 now.
Cool. You took the leather armor off?
Yeah.
What is this? Okay. Okay. You are hit for... The damage won't be... I hit the wrong button. You are hit for 9 points of bludgeoning damage and grappled.
May I ask what he rolled first?
He rolled a 20, and you did not see him coming.
Fair enough. It wouldn't have mattered anyway.
He And he turns you around, and you see who you recognize as Simon's patron.
Thought so.
He has a breastplate on his chest and a rapier at his hip. And he looks at you and says, "You know, it is hard to plan for surprises, but we always appreciate assistance, wherever it comes from. Let us find your friends, shall we?" He snaps a finger, and you find yourself back at the farmstead, still in his grip. And that is where we will end this session.
Well,
It's almost a shame we don't have face cam because I have a face of absolute fucking terror now.
yeah.
I can imagine.
Well,
Thank you, everyone, for watching this episode of Scourge of the Dragon Sea.
Huh.
I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed it. I feel like I have inflicted emotional damage on most of my players tonight.
yeah.
How much damage did I take, by the way? I didn't actually enter that.
I think it took 9 points. Everyone still gets the full benefit of their long rest. I'm not going to be that mean.
Oh yeah.
But this is going to be an interesting next session.
Oh fuck.
Now, what was everyone's favorite part? Am I smiling like a... I don't even have a metaphor.
Evil
for this.
mastermind.
Oh. Marcus, when you messaged me, I said, "You're gonna do what for me?" Sorry. Anyway, Ty, what was your favorite part?
Ty's favorite part was wondering what everybody else's faces were looking like when Ithhook went and stole the bag of holding. Quite curious when I was like, what's he doing? What's going on? Wait a minute, what?
Oh no.
That's my favorite part. God damn that mask.
Barry. Also, Ithvik, do you have inspiration right now?
Yes.
You have 2 inspiration right now.
Damn.
I'll just go ahead and type that into the death save so it as 1 for there.
100%. Okay, Barry, what is your favorite part?
So yeah, besides whatever Ithvik just did, that was crazy. I was going to say holy cow, because that was fucking funny. But then it got overshadowed by the fucking Edema lore drop that we don't know, but like I know, and
Yeah.
I'm so curious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Edema? You may be
Honestly,
muted. Okay.
there was a combination of Ichi was in rare form with his cards this run. So I kind of have to give it to him.
Nice.
I found myself laugh out louding at least like way more than often. Probably he'd get 1 per session, but this was a solid like 4 or 5. This was a solid run for him.
I needed this win this week.
And then Ithvik, what was your favorite part?
There was quite a lot, but
It was a great session.
pull, you asshole. Sorry,
I'm the asshole?
the rug pull.
Oh,
Yes. Also, this had nothing to do with the mask. Actually, I'm not going to explain what it was, but it had nothing to do with the mask.
I would like to point out I had something like this planned if the flower got touched. And then you messaged me saying you were gonna do this. And I'm like, I don't. Oh.
I look forward to finding out what the fuck.
I spent the entire week before last session debating on whether to do this.
Man, that's crazy.
Someone has to steal the flower of virginity.
Ow.
Why?
Wow.
We're gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Oh.
Simon.
Oh, absolutely. It was Edema begging and pleading to Tharssa.
And getting stabbed for it?
Yeah.
I didn't know where I was going with that when I started. I just knew, I'm like, yo, it's bullshit. He gets a ring of summoning? I thought that's what
You don't even go here!
I did get humbled. I stand wildly corrected.
But I need to drum up what your bracer does too.
Besides kill me, because I thought it was a curse, low-key.
Yeah, so this was a fantastic session.
Yeah.
Plot happened in several directions. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. Again, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed this session. Join us probably next week, but life seems to be saying not every other week instead of every week, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Itchy, I think you're good to take us out.
All right. Well, I can see that my good friend Overkill is currently... See, his stream says Call of Duty, but I'm looking at it and he's playing fucking Solitaire. But I'm going to send people over there anyway.
Solitaire is perfect.
We might be switching over to some Tiny Tina's Wonderlands shortly as well, if both Overkill and Raven are up for it. So tune in for that as well.
Great game.
If not, then we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.